let's play another Bridge Master hand, and I think I will go for the B hands of level 5. I've played those hands before, but it has been long enough, and I don't remember a single goddamn thing about them, especially since I haven't played Bridge in like 4 weeks or so at all. So this is gonna be an interesting challenge. We are playing a 6 hearts contract, and West bids an unusual 2-no trump. Now, in these Bridge Master hands, I guess 2-no trump either means 5-5 in the majors or in the minors. I forget which one it is most of the time, but I guess since we have an 8 card fit in both spades and hearts, uh, that strongly suggests a 5-5 in the minors in this case to me. With some values, which is very important information, of course. He shows a preference for the diamond suit, yeah. That surely is 5-5 in the minors at least. And I'm also pretty sure that's gonna be important for our line of play. So let's see. We are in a 6 hearts contract. In trump contracts, I like to count losers more than winners. So, so let's see. There aren't any trump losers. There might be a spade loser to east. One which we might be able to ruff. There is a sure diamond loser to West. And I'm pretty sure West has to have the ace of diamonds in order for his unusual 2-no trumpet to be justified in any way. And I guess West also has to have the queen of clubs. Especially since West has shown 5-5 in the minors already. He will have values in both. So let's see what we can do. Immediately, my attention goes towards forcing West to lead a minor for us at some stage. I don't know when, but that's where my attention immediately goes. Because if West somehow made a trick, let's say we draw the trumps, we draw the spades, and then West miraculously gets the lead somehow. Without us surrendering a trick, we would be there. Since if West now leads clubs, our jack of clubs will be good. And if West leads diamonds and he doesn't have anything else, then both the king and queen are gonna make a trick. Yeah, because if West plays a low diamond, we can win it with the king in hand, and then the queen in dummy is positioned behind West, so it will make a trick. This sounds good. But of course, this all depended on West miraculously getting the lead without us surrendering a trick, since if we surrender a trick for that, we're toast, since West has the ace of diamonds as a second trick. So the only card which we can afford to lose is actually the ace of diamonds. So if West were ever to get the lead and forced to lead into us, it would have to be with the ace of diamonds. And that's a bit unfortunate, I guess. Or is it? I don't really want to touch the club suit, since if I play the ace or the king of clubs, I isolate my jack, and West can always safely lead the queen of clubs. So, I want to keep the club suit untouched. Now we can win that first trick, that doesn't hurt. I think it would be okay to draw trumps. I'm not seeing anything special about the trump suit at all. And I would like to know if West is like 2-1 in spades and hearts, or maybe even 1-1 or something like that. He could have a 6-card suit in either minor. That's very possible. Yeah, let's draw a second round of trumps. West is out. So East started with 4 trumps. Now we need to see. So East roughing a spade is of course never an issue, since West has at most 2 spades. So East must have at least 3 of those. But I'm still a bit puzzled about the diamond suit, to be honest, since, again, if we want to force West to lead a minor suit for us, he will have to gain the lead with the ace of diamonds and with no other card. Now, does playing the king do anything? Don't really think so, since West can just take the king with the ace and safely lead back a diamond. Yes, we can win it with the queen, but we would have always made 1 diamond trick, and we have essentially gained nothing. Diamonds aren't good and clubs aren't good. So this just straight up and playing West is not good enough. We will have to rely on some sort of squeeze for it all to work. Now, of course, if I want to squeeze, I also need to be careful about entries into dummy. There's actually one thing I can do in the diamond suit, which is play the 2 of diamonds. Since if West now plays the ace, we're there. Since then both the king and queen will be good. We just need to be careful that we still have the queen of spades at that point as an entry to dummy to cash his queen of diamonds later. So if we play the 2 of diamonds, West plays the ace, we play the 3, West returns a club, and anything, a diamond let's say, we win it with the king. And then we draw trumps or do whatever we want. And then it's important that we still have the queen of spades as an entry to dummy to cash his queen of diamonds and discard our club loser on that. Could we actually go for a club ruff right now? It seems too simple, but is this just playing ace king of clubs and ruffing the last club any good? I guess the danger is if West started with 6 clubs, which I suspect will be the case. So 6 clubs, 5 diamonds, a heart and a spade for West. 1-1-5-6. Because in case of a 1-1-5-6 distribution, East will be also out of clubs after 2 rounds, and East has the trumps and he will overruff. That's the problem. And then of course the ace of diamonds tanks our contract. So I guess ruffing the club is too dangerous. We need to rely on something else, given that West has probably a 1-1-5-6 distribution, especially since he doesn't have that many values for his unusual 2-dot trump. bit. His hand is very short in values, actually. So, what about that one diamond trick where I need the deuce? Because I don't think West can afford to play the ace. I think West will have to play a low diamond. We will win the queen, but the queen is behind West, so that card would have won the trick anyway. But at least we are one diamond trick further down the road now, which is always good in terms of a squeeze. So you want to play as many tricks as possible for a squeeze to work. Is there any hope of establishing the spades from dummy? I mean, not really. I strongly suspect once again that West is 1156 and that spades are 4-1. So the spades in dummy aren't good immediately, and if they were ever... Well, is that maybe a thing? Like, if I play like draw trumps and then play 4 rounds of spades or something like that, I can discard the clubs from dummy in that case. If I play 4 rounds of spades, roughing the last one, then dummy does have a good spade. And if I now... What happens if I now lead the king of diamonds? Because if now West wins the ace, I think I'm good, since I have an entry to the good spade in dummy. But what if West lets the king go? Then I can lead the deuce of diamonds and force West to play the ace, because he can't let dummy enter. But then he returns a club, and the problem now is that if I play this whole shenanigan, but there is something there, I think. So if I play this whole shenanigan, West wins the ace on the second trick of diamonds. And now he will return a club. And now it's important, I think, it's important that dummy at that point still has the jack covered. So I cannot afford to draw trumps first, since if I draw trumps now, I will have to make a discard from dummy. And if I discard a spade from dummy, that's bad, since now there is no spade threat anymore, so West can easily just win my king of diamonds with the ace later, and allow dummy to enter with the queen. There's no problem there. And if I discard a club, then the jack is isolated. It's isolated, and West can return the queen of clubs safely. So I cannot afford to draw trumps in this scenario. I would have to play those 4 spade tricks like immediately. Is there a problem with this plan? Like, if I now play 4 spade tricks immediately, I could draw 1 more round of trump, but that doesn't help or hurt. 4 spade tricks. Then I'm in hand. Then Then I would exit the king of diamonds. And if West now wins the ace, I have an entry to dummy to his final spade. The only problem being that East still has a trump left. So the spade winner is no good for actually discarding a club. And again, I can't afford to draw trumps first, since then I would have to make a discard in dummy, and I don't want. I don't want to discard anything from dummy. So I'm not thinking this whole spade strategy works. It's close, but I'm not seeing how this is supposed to work. So let's come back to this, because we can always play the diamond trick with the deuce, and West needs to let that one go. So does that improve our chances of a squeeze somehow? If I play it immediately, the diamond trick. And then I can draw trumps, play 4 rounds of spades maybe. West needs to keep 3 clubs. Right? No. Can he afford to come down to a doubleton queen of clubs? Not in case he started with a 1-1-5-6 distribution. And East then would also have a doubleton club, and our clubs would just be good in the end. Our 2 of clubs. Our 2 of clubs would make the final trick. So West needs to keep 3 clubs all the way. Meaning he can only have 1 diamond. And that needs to be the ace, obviously. But then, when there's only 4 cards left, I think I'm safe to exit diamonds to him. And then he is the one who needs to lead clubs, not mine. Not my side. Yeah, that must be it. So we play the 2 of diamonds, and if West now plays the ace, we're fine immediately, since then the king and queen of diamonds will both make a trick, and we still have a spade entry to dummy to cash the queen of diamonds and discard our club loser. No problem there. So I think West needs to let this one go. Yes, he lets it go, fine. And the point of this was to reduce the hand 1 trick, which is really important, I think, in the end, since now I can play all the majors and come down to 4 cards only. And with 4 cards only, I think West has a problem when it comes to discards, since he needs to keep 3 clubs to stop the clubs. So he can only keep 1 of his diamonds. And that one will be the ace, and then I can safely exit the king to him and force him to lead the clubs for me, I guess. Yeah, let's do this. And I think I will draw trumps and discard a diamond, not a spade. Since there is a chance that in the end West leads a low club, or leads like the queen of clubs. Yes, the jack then is good, but the jack is also blockaded then in the end, and that means I need to win the final trick in dummy, not in hand, in case West leads the queen of clubs. So the final card in dummy needs to be good, so it can't be a diamond, since East might as well stop the diamond suit. But I think the fifth spade will be good in that case. So we need to discard a diamond and not a spade on this one. Now we need to stop drawing trumps, since, well, all trumps are drawn, and we need that final trump to ruff a spade, since I strongly suspect spades to be 4-1. Yes. So there goes a diamond. I'm not being too careful about West discards, I know, but I'm pretty sure when there's only 5 cards left that he will come down to 3 clubs and 2 diamonds, no matter how we started. We win this one, and now we ruffed a spade. So now the 5 of spades is good, which is also important. And West is now down. Yeah, so in this trick, West was down to 3 clubs and 2 diamonds. And he discarded a diamond on his last trick, so now he will be down to just a singleton diamond. So I think that I can now safely just exit diamonds to him and force him to lead the club suit for me. And if he leads the... Well, let's see. Does he lead the queen or does he lead the low club? He leads the queen. He leads the queen, which is a very good try, since if I didn't have a spade in dummy, which is good, but a diamond instead, then I would be down, since East... I would win this queen in hand, obviously, but then I would need to cross to the jack, since the jack is the only one left in dummy. And then East might as well stop the diamonds. So it's important that I kept the spade and not the diamond. For exactly this scenario. Because now I cannot continue clubs, since West still stops clubs. But I can cross to the jack, which is good. And win the final trick with the 5 of spades. Phew! Yes. This was actually a very instructive one, I think. It's not too difficult, so it's not crazy or something like that. But I really like this one. Let's see if the solution gives us any new insights, although I doubt it. Yeah, West has shown at least a 5-5 in both minor suits. That's the unusual 2-not trump hit that the robots really love. I mean, it makes sense. I think we will also try to incorporate it into our family games. Yeah, so roughing a club is an interesting idea, but it's too prone to overruff, which I laid out at the beginning. So we hope for a 1-1-5-6 distribution with West and go for a squeeze. But in order for the squeeze to work, we need to ensure that West cannot safely return diamonds. So 2 diamond tricks will always be played, no matter what. And we have to play one of them immediately. So that he cannot just win the ace of diamonds later and return a second diamond trick and put the ball back in our court, basically, because we don't ever want to touch clubs. We want him to touch clubs. Yeah, so I drew one more round of trumps. One more round of trumps doesn't hurt at all. But the two of important to play this one sure diamond trick, the queen would have always made a trick. That's not really the point. The point is really to play one of those diamond tricks early so that the diamond trick which we will eventually lose to rest will be the last diamond trick, so he cannot return diamonds after that. And put the ball back in our court. Yeah, we play this diamond trick to the queen, and then we can just play all trumps and spades. But it's still important that we discard a diamond here. Since East stops diamonds, so keeping a diamond in dummy until the very end is no good. We need to keep the last spade in dummy until the very end, since West, by playing the queen of clubs, can force us into a bit of an awkward situation when it comes to entries in the club suit. So the last card in dummy needs to be good. Yeah, just cash the spades normally, starting with the high cards from the short side, as you always should. Rough the last spade, so now the six of spades in this case. It's a good card in dummy, which is very important in case West returns the queen of clubs later. Yeah, so now we also know that West is down to 4 cards. And he still has to keep 3 clubs, since if he just had 2 clubs in hand, well, we could just win the clubs. Ace, king, and the 2 of clubs would be good. So West needs to keep 3 clubs, but that also means he can only keep a single diamond. So we can now safely just exit that diamond and force him to lead clubs. Yeah, but if he plays the queen, well, we have 3 club tricks now in theory, but we cannot cash them since the jack is blockaded. So in that case, our third trick needs to be that last card from dummy, in that case the 6 of spades. Alright, I think this was a very nice and instructive hand. I will play a new one tomorrow, I think. This was quite fun. See you later, bye for now.